What up, everybody? It's your boy, Mark Howard. You know what we do here. We talk Cowboys here. That's what we do. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Want to tell everybody before we get going, hit subscribe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really works better if we have the most of people that watch us hit subscribe. Let me know what you think after each episode. Hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down. I can take the criticism. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about what I'm talking about. Tell me what you disagree with, what you don't like. I want to know. It's always good for quality control, but it's always good feedback. I like a lot of attention. Anyway, continuing on with our series, we're going to talk about the draft. We're going to break down individual players. As we said, we're going to continue. We're going to take one draft pick and one UDFA. Well, I can't talk. Undrafted free agent, that is, signing, and move forward there and analyze and go over what I think on that. I do want to say here real quickly, though, I do like as far as the offseason moves, going back over that. Jalen Thompson is safety. P.J. Locke is safety, to go along with the fact that our first pick was Caleb Downs. What we haven't had really elite is at the safety position on defense. That's part, and I'd say it coincides with the fact that our defense has never really been totally elite. I think there may be something to look at there. Having Caleb Downs, Jalen Thompson is going to take a lot of pressure off of him to have to perform, gives him enough time to learn, go through the learning curve, and just be the football player that he naturally can be. I have no problem that he'll pick things up. P.J. Locke is another solid depth piece that plays the type of defense that I know that Coach Parker wants to play with his defense. He has familiarity with him because before he was at Philly, he was in Denver, and P.J. Locke is a good veteran. So some good veteran solid play at safety will help Caleb Downs, just help the overall defense whatsoever. That Jalen Thompson was definitely the insurance for the fact that if we weren't able to get Caleb Downs, then he would be the guy. Now we add that to that, I think we're going to be very, very strong. Kobe Durant, I like picked up being acquired from the Rams. He's a solid veteran. He may not be an all-pro all the time there in a sense, but he's a solid veteran. That's all you need. If you're getting good pressure, you're getting good play with the defense itself, a solid corner is all you need, especially the type of schemes you can do. I do like also Otto Agbagnia, a defensive tackle. He's going to add some depth. And he can play a couple of different techniques here. We did retain Sam Williams. We love Sam Williams, I guess. So he's still there for 1 year. And it's just time for him to prove it, you know. I think he's solid. I think he's okay. Pressure's not going to be on him to perform as much. But Sam Williams, this is a chance to do so. They felt like they liked Jadeveon Clowney as an end. I don't know. Will they bring him back? Nobody's beating his door down. So I am thinking that if we were to reacquire Clowney, it's going to be right around the training camp or right in the beginning of the season to add him there. He'll stay in shape and do something. That's the best I can see on that end. But let's get to these picks and the free agency pickup as we keep moving right along. Okay, let's go to the draft pick. Second pick in the 7th round was Anthony Smith, a wide receiver out of East Carolina. This guy was a former teammate of the draft pick we picked in the 2nd round last year, and Siobhan Revelle. So they know each other. Good piece to get acclimated to the Dallas area there. Somebody could challenge him in training camp a little bit. As far I'm talking about Revelle challenging him, and Smith maybe giving a little work with Revelle, just getting acclimated. From what I see from him, he's from the Maryland area, not too far from the D.C. area where I'm from, a little closer to the shore. But he started out at NC State. He was there for a number of years. Slowly kind of built his way through that, but wasn't really much of an impact player. Didn't see as much play there. Eventually, he transferred to East Carolina, where he played 2 years, and that's where his numbers really grew. He definitely dominated in the Sun Belt Conference. His overview-wise there, he's been a solid receiver. He put up good numbers. From what I'm seeing and reading and looking at what he's done, he was definitely impactful there. Looking at him and his accolades, he was an all-conference player. 2 years. He's an off-conference player there. So he's solid. I look at him. He's a 6'2", 197-pound receiver. But he has some speed. Was a 4.4 40. So he has some pretty good speed. One of the knocks on him, though, is catching. He had some drops that were questionable there. But when looking at film of him, I'm looking at him. He gets open. He runs the short routes where he gets the hitches. He's a good yak receiver. That's yards after catch. And he does go deep there pretty well. Seen him getting behind those secondary defenders and getting wide open. I think the problem where he'll struggle is making catches with some corners and some DBs draped over him. He's not going to beat all those cornerbacks in the NFL. And they play some good teams, not just necessarily Sun Belt teams. They played some Power 5 programs. And he played in the Power 5 where he struggles. So you look at him now, he goes to a lower tier Division I program, and he dominates. Well, I think him getting the reps and being able to get on the field and make plays gives him that confidence there. Again, he didn't get drafted. I don't know if there was any real grade. I think he was basically a 6th or 7th round grade, and he wasn't drafted there. And receivers, there's a lot of receivers. Everybody has receivers, and there's a lot of receivers always coming out. It's full. I think it's a good pickup. He'll also help out on special teams. He's going to be a special teams guy. At best, if he's able to make the roster. I don't know whether he will. 7th rounders could, but we do have a deep receiver room. I think that he could be a receiver that can learn, be around. But it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. I think where he will challenge is going to be between him and Trayshawn Holden. He has the speed that Trayshawn Holden doesn't have, but Trayshawn Holden has the hands and the pass catching ability, getting open and being able to make tough catches that Anthony Smith doesn't have. That's going to be the question here. When I'm looking at and seeing, and I'm reading a little bit from some of the weaknesses, like I said, it drops his defending catch space area there. So it's like when he's being defended and the ball is in the air, can he get himself and hold off and get his pass catching space and still be in good position to make that catch with a defender on him? Gotta be strong and doing that. Also, he has some fumbles. He's had some fumbles. Ball security is something that they are looking at him. Route running, I tell you this much. If you know how to get open, you know how to get open. If you are more of a precision guy to learn how to run routes more precisely, say like when we had Amari Cooper, that's an attribute. But if you can get open, if you know how to read in these zone areas, find the soft areas, get a good move, get off the line quickly, you can get yourself open. But the main thing is, can you catch the ball? Are you catching the ball even with a defender draped all over you? Because that's what you're going to see when you get in the NFL. So I see him being a long shot, being a practice squad guy. Okay, so the next person, our undrafted free agent, UDFA, Kevin Gilliam Jr. He's coming to us out of Virginia Tech. He's from Virginia, Richmond, Virginia kid, was a D-tackle DN. He went to University of Oklahoma first. Now, for him, he was a small D lineman coming out, 6'3", but weight-wise, he was 250. They kind of fluctuate between 250. They said he operated better at 250. By the time he got to OU, in the sense he was about 295, close to 300. They used him on the nose. They used him as a 1 or a 3 technique. I don't know how well that worked out for him. Obviously, he did play. He did get some run with OU. He played in about 4 games his first year, played in 9 games his second year OU, and in the third year he did play in 6 games. All of them in backup roles. Again, that's the Big 12. Now, before they'd gone to SEC, he was there. So he made some tackles, made some plays there, but he was definitely a rotational guy. I'm not sure totally how Oklahoma rotated their defensive ends. So that's the thing there, is what we look at talking about Malachi Lawrence, about his low sack numbers. Well, he wasn't on the field as often as you would think, being a starter, but they rotated so often. I don't know if Oklahoma did a lot of rotations like that. Now, he didn't finish in Oklahoma. He did 2 years. The last 2 years, he played at Virginia Tech. Now, he played all games there. Played 13 games at Virginia Tech first year, and then last year played all 12 games that they played in. Last year, 34 tackles, 7 solo. You know what I'm saying? Had a few tackles for loss, had a good amount of tackles for loss. Playing the nose, playing the edge. He's not going to be an edge with us. I think they're looking at him, as they list him as a D tackle, I'm looking at him being a player that they're looking at being in the nose. Now, again, he's a UDFA. I'm going to say for him because he's been a long shot for a lot of things. I think they took a risk on getting him, looking and reading some stuff about him out of high school. He was a 4-star athlete. But I would say to you that I believe that being an OU, trying to play tackle, they thought maybe he'd be an edge, didn't really work as well for him at the Big 12. But then he ended up playing edge. When I saw him in film, I thought he was pretty good. He makes tackles. He can move his feet, pretty agile. For me, you can look at some film on him. I thought at times, even though I'm looking at highlights, so I'm looking at the good stuff, I still thought he comes up a little too high out of his stance. That's me. Has good hands, keeps him out in front, kept a lot of people off of him. But I think at the pro level, it's going to be a lot more challenging in that situation. It's going to be tough for him to make the roster. I see him best making the practice squad. If he comes in and gets on the roster, that means we're really dinged up front. That's not a good thing. I like him. I think, though, he's wiry. I think the point is I look at this one thing here, too, that's common to what I said that Coach Parker likes. In the Big 12, he was all academic. Smart. They like smart players. They prefer smart players. So book smarts and athletic smarts are two different things, but I think the fact is that they know that he's an intelligent player. He made plays. He made plays at Virginia Tech. He made some plays at Oklahoma, so that tells me he's pretty smart. Looking at it and seeing how he reads and plays, in some sense, tells me he's intelligent on the field. So the problem for him is going to be his lack of size. Nose tackle, people like Quentin Williams, Ken Clark, they're about 20 pounds heavier with that explosion. 6'3", good height, but again, he needs a few more bricks in his back pocket. I don't know if he can play with that much weight. Like I said, when he was younger, and this is a few years ago when he was younger, he played better and could move better at 250. That means he's going to have to be a small DN or, in a sense, stand up like an outside linebacker. I don't see him being that. So we'll see. I think he's a good player to possibly develop, to see where he can go with this, maybe find his spot somewhere. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's great and he's just a steal of the UDFA and he becomes a Pro Bowler, of course. But in reality, I think that he's going to be a quality kid in camp. I think he'll fight hard for a spot, ultimately be on the practice squad as well. And, we'll see where it goes from there. All right, wish the best for him. So, and then basically at that point, it's up to the coaching. The coaching has to coach him up, find a good spot for him to see if he can flourish. Guys, that's it for me. I appreciate, again, everyone for tuning in. This is what I see that's going on, man, with us. I think there's good picks, good choices. Good choices made with sound decisions, not just picking up somebody, guessing and throwing them in the mix. They ain't got no heart. They ain't got no drive. They don't have no intelligence. I think you got a player that has played with some determination, players that we have that play with determination, along with a good amount of skill and have intelligence and are leaders. So that's what I'm seeing so far. We're going to keep going. I'm going to pick up 2 more, another draft pick, another free agency pick tomorrow, and we're going to go over it. We got a few more to go through, and I'm having fun with this. You guys, let me know. Hit subscribe, hit like, drop what you think in the comment section. We'll talk to you tomorrow, yo. It's Mark Howard, and we talk Cowboys here. Peace.